Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, Podcast Pete, and podcast strategy coach. I changed my title to better reflect what we can do for you. Now, motivation. Let's go back to Motivation Monday. Why is motivation so critical? What are 3 tips we can use today to give us more motivation? What has meant the most to me is clarity. Growing up dyslexic and ADD, I always had plenty of things to do. I was always chasing that shiny object, doing something. Clarity was never a strength of mine until I got involved in coaching, growth day, and being more intentional about the high performance habits. Clarity is number one, the number one habit to have in your life to be a high performer is clarity. And how I do that is this. Every day, I'm in growth day. Every day, I'm doing the daily fire. Every day, I have Brenda Bouchard coaching me. Every day, I write things down. Every day, I journal. Every day, this is not every once in a while. It's developed into a habit. I get up in the morning, I drink my water. So I got to hydrate first. Then I start thinking. Spend 10 or 15 minutes just thinking. Maybe what I did yesterday, what the podcasts were all about, what I learned from the podcast. And then I start to journal. I write. I get those thoughts clear. I get them on paper. What the day's going to look like ahead. And just journal. What am I excited about that day? What did I learn from the previous day? And what ideas do I need to flesh out of this? Because we have between 12 and 60,000 thoughts. Let me repeat, 12 to 60,000 thoughts that go through our head every day. How can you be clear with that many thoughts running around in this brain? So, clarity can come from putting a pen to paper. And it doesn't have to be that elaborate. Mine keeps getting better, but the main thing is to start. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And the first step is just that pen to paper, writing, getting some of your thoughts out. What are you clear about? What are you working on? What ideas do you need to flesh out a little bit? But getting them out on paper gives you greater clarity. And when we look at high performance habits, and I'll put them up here, Brenda Bouchard, who's my mentor and my coach every day, wrote the book High Performance Habits. So what are high performance habits? Clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. What's the number one habit? Clarity. So you want to be a high performer? It's going to require clarity because any distraction will take you down a path that gets your attention. Your attention is the most important thing you have, your time. We each have 24 hours. How we spend our 24 hours determines what we're going to get done, the impact we're going to make, the joy we're going to find by being clear about what we're doing. Everybody wants your attention. Everybody. Every social media platform, every person is tugging on your coattails or your time tails to grab your attention. So if you're not clear about where you're going, any distraction will take you off. So when you think and you get those thoughts out and you're clear about your day and you're clear about your week. I do 3 days in one. That's happened over time, but didn't first happen. It's like you can't make transformation overnight. You're checking email, you're watching TikTok videos, and you're consuming 4 hours of TV, and that's the average. Do you think you can just break that like that? You can make a decision, but it takes time to transform. We like to put multiple habits on top. A lot of people have read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, a best-selling book. And the premise is those stacking of those habits. For almost 2 years, I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, earlier than that, went to the gym. I was at the gym at 5. We'd get up at 3:34. Now, are there some days that, like today, where it's 18 degrees and the bed is a lot warmer than getting out and you don't feel like it? Sure. But if you stack habits, because every time I'm on the bike for a half hour, I'm listening to personal growth. I'm listening to getting better. I'm motivated by the outcome of that activity, not how I feel at the time. Because willpower is no power. Willpower is no power. We don't get motivated by our willpower. It's like we're about to turn the 2025 to 2026. What happens? We all make those New Year's resolutions. Gym's going to be packed. I go to LA Fitness. There'll be a lot more people in January than there is in December. But December crowd is the ones that stayed with it. December crowds are the ones that stack things. Like they realize that willpower is not going to get them to February or March. You have to have a plan where you're stacking numerous, they talk about accountability person. That's a habit. Hey, I'm going to go with Joe. And Joe will say, Pete, where are you? If you're not there. So that's a habit. Then it's, what am I going to listen to when I'm there? How am I going to grow? What am I going to work on? What kind of outcome do I want? And how can I stack these habits to help me get clear about what I'm doing? Not just willpower, but going beyond that. So stacking these drives motivation. And then over time, you're just getting into a rhythm, into a flow. And when you get into a rhythm and flow, your clarity gets clearer. Your vision of what you want gets better. Better vision, better outcome. Less clarity, a lot of frustration. Depending on how you stack those, the more habits you can stack on top of each other, the better you're going to be in that particular activity or activity habit, whatever it is. So first, get real clear. You'll be motivated by your clarity. 2, growth. I like to say this one, personal growth is everything. Your business will not grow beyond your ability to grow personally. So Growth Day is what we use in our community. And what you have to think about is the world changed. It went global. Now, if I meet you and we've had a good conversation, you've built up curiosity, I'm going to check you out. And when I check you out, what do I see? If you allow me to go on a journey with you, and we do a lot of content on 7-11-4, Daniel Priestley being a key person of influence online, then you allow me to get to know you. So if you're putting assets out there, I want you to act local, but think global. Act local, but think global. And what that means is simply when I look you up, you give me an opportunity to get to know, like, and trust you. When you do that, you're moving from a sandbox, and I like to give you a visual here. Your local sandbox is your 20%. That's about 150 people that know, like, and trust you locally. If you can combine that with the 80% of the people that don't know you yet, you're now playing in the billions, because that's the global opportunity. People can be watching this around the world. And how many people are you opening up your world to? Billions. So your big sandbox, your global sandbox, is the people that don't know you yet. So your online reputation, your online profile is going to open up that global opportunity. Because when you're creating assets online, assets grow. Assets never go away. Activities do. You go to a local meeting, once it's over, that's it. That local meeting is over, that activity's over. Nothing was created besides, meeting a few people. Why not? I was just talking to a gentleman who used to be in BNI. Let's just say it takes 2.5, 3 hours, because your meeting usually lasts about an hour and a half. But get there early, stay a little bit after, do a couple one-on-ones. Let's say you take 3 hours out of your day. Where you're doing an activity, I can create 6 podcasts if I want. I can create videos. I can create a course. I can create assets. Assets grow. Activities don't. Activities are gone. And if you can separate the two and think assets, a book's an asset, a workshop's an asset, a course is an asset, a podcast is an asset. Those are assets. And when you look at rented versus owning, you own a book, you own your website, you own your email list, you own your podcast, you own all these assets, you'll go faster, 10 times faster. So shift, act local, because once you go global, it's going to help be your local too. It's going to be a bigger sandbox, billions versus 150. So you play in a sandbox with 150 people, small. You play in a bigger sandbox with billions of people, that's a bigger opportunity. That's the mindset shift. That's motivating. And last is community collaboration. Think of community as collaborating with people. The more you can collaborate, your community will grow. Everything's better in community and collaboration. What does that mean? It's aligning with people. Could be a podcast on your topic. It could be collaborating on a book project. It could be collaborating with a workshop with somebody. It can be collaboration. When people think competition, they're thinking very small. When they're thinking collaboration, you're thinking impact. You're thinking global. You're thinking bigger, 100 times bigger. Collaboration will make you the difference. So when you look at your business for 2026, clarity, personal growth, and community collaboration. So let me give you a couple things here because I want you to succeed. Let me see if I can put this up here. Okay, let me put this. Hold on here, Nelly. Oh, yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to make this. Hold on here. There we go. I'll put a QR code up there. And better yet, I'm going to put something that's going to go across. Let's see. Clarity. Oh, yeah, I'm in the wrong section here. Hold on here. Yes. There we go. Let's connect. There we go. Clarity. Okay. Go to pkme/clarity. Schedule a 15 to 20 minute call with us so we can help you get clear on your future. Because the future is bright for those who are clear, growing personally, and working, collaborating in community. So those two things, I hope these make a difference in how you approach your day, the mindset you have. We're going to do motivation on Monday. Tuesday is going to be marketing. Wednesday is community. Thursday is relationships. Mindset is Friday. And Saturday is leadership. If this is something that you can serve your growth, like big time growth, like 10x, like 100x growth, play the global game. Get in the bigger sandbox where the billions play. And let people get to know, like, and trust you through your digital online profile. Be a key person of influence online, and you'll have a brighter future in 2026 and beyond. All right, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think I can. Yes, I can. Hold on. I love this StreamYard. It's beautiful. All right, hold on here. Yes, there. Go to pk.me/clarity. And with clarity comes energy. With energy comes courage. Courage, productivity, and productivity, influence, both locally and globally. Okay, be bold,